Well, good morning, guys. Tush coming at you. Saturday morning, the 11th of May, 8:55, and we're on a road trip this morning up to a place called Strictly V-Twin. They've got a flea market this morning. It's in Pefferlaw, Ontario, so it's about a 45-minute drive for me this morning. So we'll check out this flea market. I'm not really in the market for anything. I'm sure it'll be a bunch of Harley stuff, but that's okay. I am looking for a set of passing lights, driving lights, whatever you want to call them. So we'll see if I can find something in the flea market side of things that will work on my bike. Other than that, we'll just have a look around and see what's up with the bike world. And like I said, it's my first bike flea market, so we'll see what things look like. Anyway, maybe we'll take a few shots along the way. I think what I'll do on my way back is I'll actually stop in and visit my cars. They're actually en route on the way back, so maybe we'll just pull off the road and have a quick check of the cars, make sure they're slumbering okay. We do need to wake those up soon. The weather's been not being really great here this spring. It's been pretty cold and rainy, so it hasn't really been car weather yet anyway. But we should stop in and check in on them and make sure they're okay. Anyway, that's it for now. We'll stop rambling and continue driving on. All right, on our way back home. That was a bit of a waste of time, unfortunately. Not very many vendors out. Might be due to the fact that it's only about 7 degrees Celsius outside. Nice and sunny, but cold out still. Not a lot of vendors, as I mentioned, and not a lot of stuff out on the table. So it was quick to go through. Anyway, we'll get on with our day. Head back in towards home. All right, guys, just coming up to about 12 noon or so, and we're back home in the garage, and we're just about to start another little project. As you can see, I picked up a bike cover for my bike earlier in the week, just to keep the dust off of it while it's out here in the garage. I also picked up another purchase, and this is what we're going to do today as far as the project is concerned. I bought this off of our local Kijiji, which is like a Craigslist in the US, and this is called a bike barn. So essentially it's a tent, more or less, for the bike that I'm going to be putting up in the backyard. I've got a concrete pad in the backyard that I'm going to set this on, just beside my garden shed back there. And it's sort of like an accordion style shed. So you pull the bike up. There's a fixed part of it. You pull the bike into, and then the other part of the shed sort of accordions over the back or the rear of the bike. So we're going to put that to good use. Like I said, we're going to have to put the bike somewhere while we're working on the car, because we don't want the bike in the garage while we're spraying paint or primer, etc. So it's kind of essential for me to get the bike out of here. So that's what we're going to do as far as the project is concerned today. We're going to set this up in the backyard, or at least prep the area. There needs to be quite a bit of work done on to clean up the area in the back. I've got snow blowers and lawnmowers back there, car parts, etc., etc., that I've got to move and sort of relocate to be able to set this up. So that's what the plan is for today. So I'm not sure how far we'll get, but at least we'll get started. It's nice and sunny out there, but it's not very warm. So anyway, it's probably a good day to work outside. I thought I'd give you a quick look of where the bike barn's going to go. This is the backyard. Obviously the trees are not in bloom yet. That's an apple tree there that looks quite nice. It will look quite nice in a few weeks. And we've got a bunch of red maples across the back, which makes it look pretty good. And basically when the leaves come out, you can't even see that house behind you. And we're waiting on that to happen. Anyway, here is the space that we're going to use for the bike barn. Not measured it, but it's quite long. I see some leftover TR3 bits there that I'm hoping to put to good use on my 59 TR3A project. Just a few little scrap metal pieces that I might be able to use for patches. Lawnmowers, snowblower, spare tires. Anyway, there's the pad. It is a little heaved from the wintertime, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Anyway, so there, she's going to go there. So we'll start breaking out the frame and laying it out. Hey, good morning, everybody. Saturday, May 18th. Just coming up to 6:30 a.m. Long weekend here, and finally getting some leaves on the trees. Magnolia's out. It's cold out today. It's only a high of plus 12 degrees Celsius. Right now it's about plus 4. So it was a little frosty this morning. Anyway, today's the day we start our motorcycle riding course. I actually started classroom sessions on Thursday this week and did the in-class sessions, and Saturday and Sunday we're in for 7 hours each day of riding in order for me to get my M2 motorcycle license. So that's where we're off to this morning. So we've got all our gear packed, and we're just heading down to where they do the course and the testing. So we're looking forward to a couple of good days. Okay, we've arrived at Honda Canada, and they do the training sessions in the parking lot here. So you can see the bikes are just starting to arrive. These are the loaner bikes that we use for the course. And there's varying models. I think they're all about 250s, maybe 350s, I'm not sure. But there's going to be a selection to choose from anyway. They're just moving them from around the back of the building out here to the parking lot. Here they come up. So I think there's some cruisers, some sport bikes, some sort of adventure touring type of thing. So anyway, it should be interesting. See if I can take some shots during the day. Look at that tiny little mini bike. So obviously, since we're at the Honda plant, they're all Honda bikes available. There's a Honda Rebel, CBR, these little tiny things. That's a 300, that's a 125, this little guy here, 125, 125s, 300, I'm not sure what the Rebel is, I think the Rebel's like 250. There you go, there's the selection. What am I going to ride? So here's my bad boy bike for the day, the Rebel. So far, so good. So these are the guys that are heading out on their full Class M license. So these guys have been riding for 18 to 22 months as a minimum, up to 5 years. So now they're going out with an instructor. Nice little Husqvarna over there. Yeah. An old Triumph here. But of course, it's having problems starting. There we go, almost. Alright, Sunday the 19th, and just coming up to 7:10, and we're on our way to the second day of our motorcycle training course. Had a good day yesterday, didn't manage to drop the bike, didn't install it all day, so that was good, and learned quite a bit. So yeah, we'll continue on today, and it looks like we're in for a pretty good day. It's 12 degrees Celsius at the moment. I think the high is going to be around 25 or 26 degrees Celsius. So it's going to be a warm day today. I think it's probably the warmest day of the year so far. Had a pretty good sunburn and windburn yesterday, even though it was cooler out, so definitely got to apply the sunscreen today. Anyway, that's it for now. We'll talk to you later. Wish me luck. There's today's class of full M class riders. Somebody on a little tiny Honda. Yamaha. A couple Ninjas. Very old Honda. CBR. Starting to rain. Alright guys, Tush coming at you Tuesday, May the 21st, just after 12 noon. And we had a great weekend on our motorcycle riding course, and the best part is that I actually passed. So We're on to the next step now. I've now got my M2 license. You start with the M1, you go to the M2, and then you have 5 years to complete the full M license. So the M2 is pretty much without restrictions. I can now travel on a highway. I can travel at night if I want to. The only restriction really is I can't drink alcohol, which is not a problem. So anyway, so I'm good to go there. So now that means I can go get my license plate and my license plate sticker, because I've been able to get insurance now as an M2 licensed driver. So we're going to do that this afternoon. So hopefully I'll be able to go and put some gas in the bike and maybe go for a little ride tonight. The weather is definitely cooperating. It's nice and sunny. It's a little bit cool out, but it'd be a nice day for a ride, that's for sure. Anyway, before we do that, I should talk about this smoking deal that I got on these bits that I picked up this morning, first thing this morning. I picked up another solo seat, and this is actually a stock solo seat for the Drifter. They're quite rare and hard to come by. As I'd mentioned, they didn't make a lot of these bikes, so the seats are hard to come by. So I got that seat, and I actually picked up these saddlebags, and I got a fork bag, which is a little bit worse to wear, but the saddlebags are near mint, and the saddlebag brackets, which are kind of a little different for this bike because it's a monoshock swing arm. The bags are actually mount to the frame of the bike and not obviously to the rear fender, because the rear fender travels up and down with the monoshock. So these are a hard mount, hard backed bag. So again, great deal on these. I couldn't pass it up. I actually paid less for all of that than I did for this single solo seat, significantly less. So good deal there. So anyway, we're going to change the oil, and we'll get ready to take it for a spin tonight. We've got the filter ready to go. We picked up some oil this morning, so we've got that ready to go. It takes about 3 liters of oil to do a complete change on this bike. So we're going to go ahead and change the oil. I'm not going to video it. There's a few videos on YouTube already on how to do this, so it's not like I need to add another video on how to change the oil on a Vulcan or a Vulcan Classic or a Vulcan Drifter. Just Google it and you'll find what you're looking for. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll stop rambling and I'll get to work. It's Tuesday night. I'm already out on my first Tim Hortons run. A couple of buddies. Sean and his wife Tracy. Sean's got the big victory. Yeah, nice night for a ride. A little windy, but nice as far as the temperature is concerned. It's not too hot out. Anyway, that's it for now. So we got her out of the garage finally. All right, good morning, guys. Tush coming at you Wednesday, May 22nd, just right at 8 o'clock in the AM. And had a good day on the bike yesterday. Put 68 kilometers on it. So, yeah, just getting it broken in a little bit. We're going to do a bit more work on it this morning. I did put that new seat that I got yesterday on it. It's actually really comfortable. It does need a little bit of work here. It needs a little bit of cleaning up on the metal bits here. I have a little bit of tiny bit of rust on them, but we'll fix that up. And I think what we're going to do today is we're going to fit the saddlebags to see if they fit okay. And we'll probably put the windscreen on. I did notice it's quite windy when you're at speed without a windscreen on, and it was a windy day yesterday, so we'll put the windscreen on and take it for a ride and see what we think with the windscreen on. I do have an open face helmet, so that makes it a little bit windier. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and we'll fit those up. We'll at least try to fit them up and see what the bike looks like fully dressed out with the saddlebags and the windscreen. All right, we'll come back. All right, guys, we'll call this the Tour Pack Edition. So I've got the windscreen and the bags on and the new seat. I think if I'm going to run solo, I'll go with the seat that I had originally on it. I do actually think the bags would match the other seat because of the studding and the conchos kind of match the other seat a little bit better. The only problem is this seat has a factory bracket on it here, which you're probably not going to be able to see, which actually is a bit of a spacer. Unless I can actually just fit the brackets and use them as a spacer for those bags. Anyways, it looks like with the bags on. I prefer the bike stripped down as much as possible, but if you are going on a bit of a trip, you're going to need a little bit of room to store stuff. And makes the bike a little wider for sure. Definitely going to shorten those bolts that hold the bags on and probably get some stainless bolts and maybe some caps to make that look a little bit better. But for now, That will suffice. I don't expect to be using the bags a lot anyway, but you never know. And I think they look pretty good. They match the style of the bike. So, and obviously with the windshield on, windshield's got a little bit of a scratch in it in a bad spot. I might be able to polish that out. I don't think it looks too bad. Anyway, I think I got lucky with, buying that stuff yesterday. It's just a bit of a fluke. It worked out in my favor. So anyway, yeah, we're all set up to go for on a little trip now. Definitely makes the bike look different. Alright, that's it for now. I think we'll move on to our next project. And that's working on a place to store this. I had taken some previous video about me buying a bike barn. And a bike barn is sort of like a portable, I'm going to say it's a tent, but it's a drive-in tent for a bike. It's like a clamshell type. And just do a Google search and look at some YouTube videos if you're interested. Anyway, I do have this bike barn that I've been trying to assemble for the last little while and was having some challenges, but I think I figured it out now. So that will be the task for the rest of the day, is to get the bike barn fully set up and installed. And then we'll have a new storage spot for this bike, which means I can get back to the cars hopefully by this weekend, if the weather's nice. Anyway, that's it for now. We'll probably go for a little ride this afternoon with our new touring pack installed and see how we do. Alright, talk to you later. Alright guys, just coming up to 6 p.m. and I'm sure glad that I got my bike ride in early today, because it's been kind of raining off and on for most of the day today, most of the afternoon anyway. I did manage to get my bike barn put together, finally. Still not completely 100% done, but there it is. Still need a couple of anchoring bolts for the, there's one little plate here in the front piece that needs to be bolted down to the slab. And I need a couple of eye hooks to bolt the rear of this down to keep it tight to the ground. As you can see, the cover has a few rips here and there. Like I said, I bought it used. You can buy these covers brand new, and I'll probably end up doing that at some point during the season, or even maybe next year. It's not a critical area. It's obviously where most of the wear is on this, because this is how this works. As I'd mentioned, it's sort of a clamshell design. So the intent is I'm going to probably drive the bike down, turn it around, drive it back up. When we get to this point, it's really undo the bottom here and then just lift up, and it just sort of clamshells back on itself like so. There's the plate I mentioned that needs to be bolted through to the patio stones. So basically you pull your bike in there. I do actually have a bike cover for it, so I'll pull my bike in there, cover the bike, and then simply close it up again. So that's the solution to get my bike out of the garage. And I think that should work okay. Needs a little bit of a wash. It's been a little dirty from sitting on the ground out here. It's got a couple of vent flaps on either side, which is good too, so when it's warm it won't sweat inside there, or if you've just ridden the bike, you want to let the heat out. So anyway, there's the bike barn. So we'll put that to good use shortly after we've done those few other mods of bolting that frame down to the concrete pad. So that's it for now. What I think I'll do now is I'm going to go through my my camera and my iPhone and download the video footage that I have on there. I do have some footage from the last couple of weeks, so I'll see what I've got and we'll put it together into a video just so you know that I'm alive and you can see what I've been up to, more or less. So we'll do that. Magnolia is hanging in there, but just about done for the year. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching.